Hi, welcome to How to Guitar. In this video I'll show you how you can beautify your chords by adding 2s or 9s. Here are some examples. So these are just some random chords, but you can hear the color the 2 and the 9 is giving. The theory behind chords is quite difficult and get a little confusing. I don't want to go into too much detail because it distracts from the purpose of this video, showing you some nice chords. But I'll say this about the 2 or the 9. All chords are built from notes within the scale. So a C major chord is built from notes from the C major scale. And when I talk about the 2 or the 9, I refer to the 2nd or 9th note from the scale. So in this example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I can add this 9th note to my C major chord, which will make a C add 9. For simplicity's sake, I'll use only 2 definitions. If I add the 9, the chord will be add 9. And if I change the chord a little bit, when I remove the 3rd note from the chord and replace it by the 2, then I'll call it the sus2. Let's start with the first chord. Let's take the A major. In this example, I'll play it like this. And the 2nd note of the A major is the B. So I can remove my pinky from the B string, so there's an open B added to the chord. And since I've removed the 3rd, this is actually a sus2. Beautiful open sounding chord. For the next chord I'm going to stay with the A, but now A minor. And this one is trickier. I take this normal A minor chord and I'll have to add the B, and in this case I'll do that with my pinky. Place your pinky on the G string in the 4th fret. The B is over there. And this is the A minor add 9. A beautiful haunting chord, but not easy to play because of this big stretch. A little less tricky is this version. This is also an A minor add 9. Although it looks completely different. Place your index finger on the D string in the 2nd fret and your pinky on the G string in the 5th fret. Still a stretch going on, but it feels a little more comfortable for the left hand. A minor add 9. For the next chord we're going to need a bar, but this one is quite easy. This is the B sus2. Place your index finger from the A string up to the high E string and bar all the strings. And then the ring finger goes onto the D string, 4th fret, and the pinky goes onto the G string, 4th fret, and it sounds like this. And since this is a barred chord, we can move it around like this. Beautiful chord, I use it all the time. The next chord is the C major. This is the normal C, and add the pinky to the B string in the 3rd fret. This is a C at 9. I could use a different fingering, like this. Index finger on the D string, 2nd fret, middle finger on the A string, 3rd fret, and ring finger on the B string, 3rd fret. This version is particularly useful when switching between the D and the C. Speaking of which, here's a different version for the D major chord. This one is the simplest. Remove your middle finger, and by doing that I remove the 3rd. So this is a D sus2. A nice trick is to switch between the normal chord and the sus2 like this. Here's another D. It's the D add 9. This one is difficult because of the big stretch, but very nice sounding. A bar from the G string up to the high E string in the 2nd fret, and the pinky in the 5th fret of the B string. That one is a little tricky because you don't want to mute the high E string. Another beautiful chord is the E add 9. Let's take the normal E major chord, and the 2nd note from the E major scale is the F sharp, and I can find that on the high E string in the 2nd fret. So let's place the pinky over there. E add 9. This is an alternative, again a stretch, but if you can manage it, it's quite nice. I've placed my pinky in the 4th fret on the D string. This chord is an E minor chord. Normally I play it like this, and I have to add the F sharp. So I can do that like I did before by placing a finger in the 2nd fret on the high E string. Or like this, which is much easier than the E add 9. This is the E minor add 9. Index finger on the A string in the 2nd fret, and ring finger on the D string, 4th fret. The next chord is the F sus2. I use this version of the F a lot, without a bar. And then I have to remove the middle finger, which is the 3rd. So I remove the 3rd and replace it by the G, open G string. So this is the F sus2. Again, you can play around with switching between the normal version and the sus2 version. Here's another F chord, played like this. Index finger on the B string, 1st fret, middle finger on the G string, 2nd fret, and ring finger on the D string, 3rd fret. But then I have to add the 9, which is on the high E string in the 3rd fret. And since this chord doesn't have any open strings, I can move it around. The final chord is the G major, which I'll play like this, and then we place the index finger on the G string in the 2nd fret, which is the A, but I'll mute the A string with my middle finger. Technically it could be in the chord, the A string, but it will sound really muddy because it's really low. So I mute it with my middle finger. So there you go, beautiful chords, add 9 and sus2. And the nice thing about these chords is that you can quite easily place them, insert them in your normal playing. So for example, if you have to play the chords C, D, G, you could add the ninths, the cool thing about these chords is that you can mix them with your normal chords quite easily. They don't interfere too much with the scale, so they won't sound out of place. But of course you're changing the mood, that's the purpose of these chords. So make sure it fits the song that you use them in, but try them. If they sound good, use them. I hope you like this video and you will start to incorporate these chords in your own playing, and see you next time.